Marcus Kane's boots echoed through the abandoned research station as he navigated the dark corridors. The salvage expert had seen plenty of derelict stations in his career, but this one felt different. The silence was too perfect, too complete. His scanner beeped softly, indicating valuable technology nearby. He pushed deeper into the station's core, following energy readings that shouldn't exist in a supposedly dead facility. The air recycling systems had failed decades ago, leaving him dependent on his environmental suit. Through the cracked viewports, distant stars cast an eerie glow across twisted metal and floating debris. The energy signature led him to a sealed section marked with symbols he didn't recognize. The blast door had been welded shut from the inside, as if someone had been desperate to keep something in or keep something out. Marcus activated his plasma cutter, the blue flame dancing across the metal seam. When the door finally gave way, a rush of stale air escaped, carrying with it the faint hum of active machinery. Inside, the chamber was pristine compared to the rest of the station. Emergency lighting cast a soft amber glow over rows of scientific equipment and computer terminals. At the center of the room stood a single cryogenic pod, its surface gleaming like polished obsidian. The display panels showed active life support systems, powered by an independent fusion cell that had been running for over a century. Through the transparent aluminum viewing port, he could see a figure suspended in stasis. She was unlike anything he had ever seen. Her skin held a subtle luminescence, as if starlight flowed through her veins. Long silver hair floated around her face like liquid moonlight. Even in suspended animation, she possessed an otherworldly beauty that took his breath away. The pod's control panel displayed text in multiple languages, including standard Galactic script. Most of it was corrupted, but one line remained clear. Royal Heritage Protocol active. Awaiting authorized captain. Marcus hesitated, his hand hovering over the activation controls. Everything about this discovery screamed danger. Royal protocols meant politics, and politics in deep space usually meant trouble. But something about her drew him forward, an inexplicable connection that defied logic. The scanner, in his other hand, showed her life signs were stable but weakening. The fusion cell powering her pod was running low after more than a century of operation. She had perhaps hours left before the systems would fail completely. Marcus made his decision and pressed the activation sequence. The cryogenic pod hissed as pressure seals disengaged and preservation fluids drained away. Marcus stepped back as the transparent cover slid open with a soft mechanical whisper. The woman's eyes fluttered open, revealing irises that shifted between silver and deep violet. She drew her first conscious breath in over a century, her chest rising and falling as ancient lungs remembered their purpose. When her gaze found Marcus, her expression shifted from confusion to something approaching awe. "You came," she whispered, her voice carrying musical undertones that resonated strangely in the recycled air. The prophecy spoke true. The Captain of Stars has found me at last. Marcus pulled off his helmet, running a hand through his dark hair. "I'm not sure what prophecy you're talking about, but I'm just a salvage engineer. Name's Marcus Kane." The woman sat up gracefully, the form-fitting stasis suit revealing an elegant figure that seemed to glow within a light. "I am Princess Zara Velnari of the Ethereal Empire, and you, Marcus Kane, are the one foretold in the ancient texts." "Princess." Marcus felt his pulse quicken. "Look, Your Highness, I think there's been a misunderstanding. I'm just here to strip valuable components from this station." Zara stood, moving with fluid grace despite her long sleep. She was taller than most humans, her presence commanding yet somehow vulnerable. "The stars do not lie, Captain Kane. You found me when all hope seemed lost. You awakened me from the eternal sleep." As she stepped closer, Marcus caught her scent, something like cosmic winds and blooming starflowers. Her proximity made his heart race in ways he couldn't explain. "I'm not a captain. I work alone, salvaging wrecks and selling parts to stay. Alive! Your modesty honors you," Zara said, reaching out to touch his face. Her fingers were warm despite her long stasis. "But I can sense the strength within you, the courage that brought you to this forgotten place." The station's emergency. Lights flickered, reminding them both of their precarious situation. Marcus forced himself to focus on practical matters. "We need to get off this station. My ship can support 2 people, but we should move quickly." Zara nodded, though her eyes never left his face. "Where you go, I shall follow, Captain." The bond between us was written in the stars long before either of us drew breath. Marcus felt something shift inside him at her words, a connection he didn't understand, but couldn't deny. Whatever was happening between them, it was bigger than anything he'd ever experienced. 2 days into their journey aboard Marcus's small salvage vessel, the ship's proximity alarms screamed to life. On the main display, 3 massive warships dropped out of hyperspace, their hulls bearing the golden insignia of the ethereal empire. "They have found us faster than I expected," Zara said, her luminous skin paling as she recognized the lead vessel. "The largest ship belongs to Commander Drex Mortal, my former betrothed." Marcus's hands flew over the controls, pushing his modest ship's engines to maximum burn. "Former betrothed? You didn't mention you were engaged to someone?" The arrangement was political, designed to unite 2 powerful houses, Zara explained, strapping herself into the co-pilot's seat. "I fled rather than submit to a loveless union." The communication system crackled with an incoming transmission. A harsh male voice filled the cabin, speaking in the melodic ethereal language. Zara's expression darkened as she listened. "He demands I return immediately," she translated. "He calls you a primitive thief who has stolen Imperial property." Imperial property? Marcus dodged incoming weapons fire, his ship shuddering under the stress. "Is that what you are to them?" Zara's eyes flashed with anger. "According to Imperial law, I am a possession to be traded between houses, but the prophecy speaks of a different fate, one where I choose my own destiny." A devastating energy blast clipped their port engine, sending them spinning toward a nearby asteroid field. Marcus fought to regain control, his skilled hands coaxing every ounce of performance from the damaged ship. "The asteroids," Zara pointed to a dense cluster of rocky debris. "If we can reach them, their senses will be confused by the mineral composition." Marcus nodded, impressed by her tactical knowledge. "Hold on, Princess. This is going to be rough." They plunged into the asteroid field, weaving between massive rocks while Imperial fighters gave chase. Marcus's expertise as a salvage pilot served them well, threading the needle through gaps that would have crushed larger vessels. During a brief respite behind a particularly large asteroid, Zara placed her hand over his on the flight controls. The touch sent electricity through his entire body. "I want you to know," she said softly, "that whatever happens, these days with you have shown me what freedom truly means." Marcus turned to face her, seeing something in her alien features that transcended species barriers. "We're going to make it through this, I promise." Their eyes met and held, the danger around them fading into background noise. In that moment, Marcus realized he would fight the entire ethereal empire to keep her safe. Hidden in the shadow of a massive asteroid, Marcus worked frantically to repair their damaged engines, while Zara monitored Imperial patrol patterns. The confined space of the maintenance bay brought them closer together, their bodies occasionally brushing as they worked. "Tell me about this prophecy," Marcus said, his voice muffled as he worked inside an access panel. "What exactly does it say?" "About this captain you're supposed to find." Zara's luminous features grew thoughtful. "The ancient texts speak of a time When the Empire would face its greatest darkness, a captain would arise from the outer rim, one whose heart burns with the fire of distant stars. He would awaken the sleeping princess, and together they would forge a new path among the stars. Marcus emerged from the panel, his face smudged with coolant fluid. That's pretty vague. Could describe a lot of people. Perhaps, Zara said, moving closer to wipe the fluid from his cheek with her sleeve. But the prophecy also speaks of the bond between their souls, a connection that transcends the physical realm. Her touch lingered on his skin, and Marcus felt that strange energy again, stronger now. Zara, what are you doing to me? Ever since I opened that pod, I feel different. The same thing you are doing to me, she whispered, her hand moving to rest over his heart. My people believe that souls can recognize their perfect match across vast distances, even across species. Marcus covered her hand with his own, feeling the warmth of her skin and the rapid pulse beneath it. Is that what this is? Some kind of alien soulmate thing? Does it frighten you? She asked, vulnerability creeping into her voice. Instead of answering with words, Marcus pulled her closer, their faces inches apart. The only thing that frightens me is the thought of losing you to that commander of yours. He is not mine, Zara breathed, her lips nearly touching his. I belong to no one but myself. And perhaps, Marcus prompted, his voice rough, with emotion, perhaps to the captain who awakened my heart. Their lips met in a kiss that seemed to ignite the very air around them. Marcus felt energy flowing between them, as if their life forces were merging. Zara's alien nature only heightened the sensation, making every touch feel like touching a star. When they finally broke apart, both were breathing heavily. The ship's systems chimed, indicating the repairs were complete. The engines are fixed, Marcus said, though his attention was entirely on the woman in his arms. Then we should go, Zara replied, but neither of them moved. They both knew that once they left this asteroid, everything would change. They were no longer just rescuer and rescued, but two souls bound by something greater than either of them understood. The rebel outpost appeared on their sensors like a beacon of hope, hidden within the rings of a gas giant where Imperial sensors couldn't reach. Captain Nix Thorne, a weathered veteran with cybernetic implants, greeted them personally at the docking bay. So you're the princess who's got the entire ethereal empire in an uproar, Nix said, studying Zara with calculating eyes, and you must be the human who stole her. I didn't steal anyone, Marcus replied firmly. She chose to come with me. Good, Nix grinned, because we're going to need that choice to mean something. Intelligence reports say Commander Drex is gathering the largest Imperial fleet in decades. He's not just hunting you anymore, Princess. He's planning to make an example that will crush any thoughts of rebellion. Zara stepped forward, her regal bearing evident despite her simple clothes. Then we must strike first. The prophecy speaks of the sleeping princess and the captain joining forces to bring balance to the empire. Marcus felt the weight of destiny settling on his shoulders. I'm still just a salvage pilot, Zara. I don't know how to lead a rebellion. She turned to him, her eyes shining with love and certainty. You led me out of a century of darkness. You showed me what freedom could mean. If that's not the mark of a true captain, then nothing is. The battle came sooner than expected. Imperial forces found the rebel base and launched a massive assault. Marcus found himself commanding a small fleet of salvage ships and converted freighters against some of the most advanced warships in the galaxy. In the heat of battle, as explosions lit up space around them, Zara worked beside him at the tactical station. Their connection had grown stronger, allowing them to anticipate each other's thoughts and coordinate their movements with uncanny precision. The flagship is targeting the rebel command ship, Zara reported, her voice calm despite the chaos. Marcus executed a desperate maneuver, placing their ship between the Imperial dreadnought and its target. All power to forward shields. "Marcus, no!" Zara grabbed his arm. "We can't survive a direct hit from their main cannon." "We don't have to," he said, pulling her close as the energy blast struck their shields. "We just have to prove that some things are worth fighting for." The blast should have vaporized them, but something impossible happened. A barrier of pure energy surrounded their ship, deflecting the Imperial weapon. Zara gasped, realizing what had occurred. "The bond," she whispered. "Our connection is protecting us." Commander Drex's voice crackled over the communications array. "Impossible. No human could generate that kind of energy field." "He's not just human anymore," Zara replied, broadcasting on all frequencies. "He's my chosen captain, and together we are something new." The battle turned in that moment. Seeing their princess and her human captain standing together against impossible odds, other ships began joining the rebellion. Within hours, half the Imperial fleet had switched sides. Months later, as the new alliance government took shape, Marcus and Zara stood on the observation deck of their flagship, watching stars wheel slowly past. She wore a simple dress of shimmering fabric, his dress uniform with captain's insignia. "Do you ever regret opening that pod?" she asked, leaning into his embrace. Marcus tightened his arms around her, marveling at how perfectly she fit against him. "Only that it took me so long to find you." "The prophecy was right about one thing," Zara said, turning in his arms to face him. "You are the captain of my heart, Marcus Kane." Their kiss was witnessed by 1,000 stars, and across the galaxy a new age of unity began.